Hi, you're watching Level Up Hobbies. I'm Jason, and I like to build, paint, and play tabletop games. Now today I'm going to be continuing my contrast painting series, where I take a model, I paint it up to parade-ready standards using mostly contrast paints and highlights. Now today's model is going to be a Raven Guard Assault Intercessor. And let's go ahead and jump in, start painting. Enjoy! We're going to go ahead and start painting up this Raven Guard. I have already primed this thing in some Vallejo black surface primer, and now I am going to give it a heavy zenithal highlight using Citadel's Gray Sear. We're going to take and add some color to this Raven Guard Primaris Intercessor, or Assault Intercessor. And for that, we're going with the Citadel Black Templar Contrast Paint. Alright, next for this guy, I'm going to kind of add a color filter to it. And to do that, I'm going to go over all of the Black Templar, all the armor, with some Leviathan blue contrast. And this won't really change the blue as much as it will just add like a cool, like I said, kind of filter to it. It looks a lot different whenever it's wet. Whenever it dries, it's gonna really go back to the black, and then you can kind of see like a hint of blue, like when you move the armor. I'm going to go in and get the belt and pouches, get those covered. And with that, I just went in and I based everything in Corax White. And now I'm going to give it a layer of Wildwood. And now this is a very, very dark brown, but I've noticed to get that, you have to do a couple layers with it. So paint it on thin and just build up those layers as needed. Since I want it to be dark, dark, dark brown, it'll take at least two. I don't think it'll take 3 layers, but at least 2. Go ahead and highlight up that leather with a little bit of, excuse me. I'll highlight up that leather with a little bit of Baneblade Brown. And this is more to show use than actual highlights. Scuffs and abrasions on it. Okay, let's start highlighting up this black armor. Now, the Raven Guard, they're like masters of like subterfuge and like surprise warfare and stuff. And in the lore, at least 30k, I don't know about 40k lore, some of them had the ability, like Korax, to blend, like basically melt into the shadows and not be seen. So I want this armor to be very black and very non-reflective. So I'm not going to put some really bright highlights on it. I want to keep those, even the highlights, I want those to be kind of dark. So for that, I am going to be using Vallejo Game Air Somber Gray. And this is a nice, excuse me, this is a nice, cool, dark gray that will leave some nice highlights for this. So we got all of the armor there highlighted with the somber gray, and it's a really nice subdued highlight. I like it. It keeps it from popping out too much, which, you know, that's what I was looking for. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to do a couple just kind of extreme highlights, and for that I'm just using the somber gray mixed with a little bit of Vallejo Game Color Steel Gray. And with this, like I said, it's just going to be a couple extreme highlights just towards the top of the model, and even these are going to be very subdued compared to other models I've painted, especially the blacks. Like usually I would use like Ulthuan Gray or something right now, which is almost a white, but I don't want it to be that prominent. Let's start getting some of those those metal bits painted. For this, I am going to be using Citadel's Iron Warriors base. This is a nice dark silver, and I think it really goes with, you know, this color scheme very well, with it being so dark, but then also it's going to have those highlights that will kind of pop a little bit. Gonna add his company colors. So I'm gonna make him part of the third company. So we'll paint the trim red. We're gonna use Flesh Tear's red for that. I'm gonna highlight up that red with a little bit of Evil Sun's Scarlet. Okay, I need to go back and I need to highlight up the silver bits. I've already washed them with Nuln Oil, and now I am using Stormhost Silver to get those highlights. Alright, I'm calling this Raven Guard done. This was a fun model to paint, a little different. The blacks, really with any of the colors, I like kind of switching up how they're highlighted and what their undercoat is, just so they're all different. I don't have two sets of armor that are painted the exact same. So it shows a lot of variation. This is a nice cool black. I used that somber gray from Vallejo for the highlight, and I think it really paid off. It really takes that highlight down a bit, so it's not overbearing, and I think it plays really well with the Raven Guard, as compared to the other Marine that I did that was black, the Iron Hands. You can see noticeable difference just in changing how they're highlighted in how the total model turns out. And I think on the Iron Hands, I went with a warmer, gray for that one. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, the blacks, you know, they definitely look different, which is nice. I like that. I like the variation. It helps, you know, the models stand out, you know, from the other ones. This was a fun model to paint. I got some decals on here. Got his
squad. I did not have any Raven Guard decals. I have like 100 sheets of GW decals and no Raven Guards. So I had to freehand this Raven Guard symbol on here, and it wasn't that hard. I drew in the overall shape of it in white, and then I went through and subtracted the areas that were black. So like all the little lines, I added those in instead of trying to draw it line by line, with the white. And it came out pretty good, I think. This is actually, I think, my first time freehanding a chapter symbol. I might have done some. I have done some on my Dark Angels. Never mind. But not on the shoulder pads. Just like a small one on the knees or something like that. Yeah, this turned out pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was a fun video. I like painting in blacks. I don't know. I just think like that armor just pops. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.
Thanks again for joining me today on Level Up Hobbies as I painted this Raven Guard Assault Intercessor. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I publish new videos. Thanks again, and remember, build, paint, and play tabletop games. Later.